It is now January 2022, which means one thing. The transfer market is now open. Now, Arsenal have been very involved. We haven't signed anyone yet, we haven't sold anyone yet, but there is a couple players that are coming in and out. I'm going to do another whole separate video on players that are going out, or players that should go out, players that I think should go out. But this video is about players that are coming in potentially, and I'm going to give my opinion on whether or not I think they are good signings for Arsenal right now, whether or not they make sense. But before I get into the video, I just want to say I'm nearly at 1,000 subscribers, so make sure you guys like, share, comment and subscribe so I can hit that as soon as possible. But yeah, let's go straight into the video. So Arsenal are doing quite well in the Premier League. At the time of recording this video, it is currently game week 20 and we are 4th place. United have a game in hand, however, if they win their game in hand, they cannot go above us, so we're 1 point in the clear with United. With Spurs, however, they are our next opponent and they have 2 games in hand. We have them the 16th, it is currently the 4th, it's currently the 5th. So we need to beat them. It doesn't take away their games in hand, because their games in hand is probably going to be a double game week for them. But we have to win that game, because if they beat us, then we have to fear the fact that they genuinely might get top 4 above us. It's already looking like they can do it. You know, Conte has come in. Even though they're not winning comfortably, they're still winning the games. You know, 1-0, a win's a win. You know, if I'm winning 1-0, I'm not going to complain. I just would want improvements for the next game. And obviously, Conte is a good enough manager to notice that. So yeah, we have to win that next game against Spurs. But yeah, in terms of transfers and Arsenal, let's get straight to the video. So the first player is a player that has been linked with us for a while now. Not only linked with us, but linked with a bunch of Premier League clubs. You know, he's been linked with Liverpool, Man City need a striker. He's been linked with Man City, United potentially looking for a striker as well. So he's been linked with United. He's been linked with a lot of Premier League. He's been linked with Spurs as well. He's been linked with Spurs. Spurs obviously thought they were going to lose Harry Kane, so he was actually involved with Spurs a little bit. But that is Dusan Vlahovic. Now, I'm going to be very honest. I have not seen this guy play enough for me to give a verdict. Now, he's got 16 goals this season in the Serie A in 19 games. Those are beautiful numbers on a striker. Those are the numbers you want to see. You know, if we're linked to a striker, those are the kind of numbers you want to see. Last season, in 37 games, he scored 21. Now, I haven't got his assists up on the screen, but he wasn't really involved in assist making. He's an out-and-out goal scorer. I think he got like 5 assists in the last 2 seasons combined. So, you know, he's not really known for creating the play, but he's known for finishing it. You know, with 21 goals last season, that's what attracted Liverpool. You know, if you go look at the news, Liverpool were attracted from that. And now this season, Arsenal looking for a striker. Obviously, Aubameyang looks like he's going to be on his way out. That is for the next video. Like I said, I might do a whole separate video on Aubameyang, because he has been one of our most biggest players over the last couple of seasons. But Vlahovic, I'm not going to be angry if we sign him, because clearly he can score goals. You know, he came about in 2018. I'm pretty sure those 10 appearances that he has in 2018-19 were like off the bench, maybe started 1 or 2. In 2019-2020, he played a full 30. That was his first full season in the Serie A. Well, for Fiorentina anyway. I'm not pretty sure. Like I said, I don't know much about him. So, did he play in the Serie A before Fiorentina? I'm not sure. But yeah, he managed 6 goals there. But then 2020-2021 is the season where he really broke through. Last season, 21 goals. This season, he's on 16 in 19. And if we're going to sign him in January, he is clearly proving himself this season. So, you know, can he come and translate that into the Premier League? Can he translate that for Arsenal? I'll be happy if we sign him, because I've heard it's gone from like 80 million to like 55 million plus Torreira. Obviously Torreira, he said that if he was homesick in the past, he's gone out on loan to the Serie A. I think it was Torino, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Torino, or they linked with him for a transfer? I forgot who Torreira went to. I just don't follow him. Atletico. He went to Atletico. Pretty sure he went to Atletico. Anyway, Torreira has been involved in the deal, and yeah, that means the price goes down. I'm pretty sure Fiorentina will be happy to take Torreira as well. But yeah, first player is Vlahovic, a striker, 21 years of age, by the way, very, very young. And obviously, that is the philosophy that Arteta is trying to create. We've got the youngest average team in the Premier League right now. You know, you look at our team; it is very young, and that is the way that Arteta is trying to go. I'm not going to be angry if we sign Vlahovic. I'm not going to be angry at all. However, the next player is a player that I'm not too sure about. I'm not saying I'm going to be angry if we sign him, but he's got 4 goals in 16 games this season. And that's in the La Liga. In my opinion, the La Liga is worse than the Serie A. So if anything, Isak should be doing better. I mean, the season before that, last season, he got 17 goals. He managed 17 goals in 34 games. He obviously got, I think it was like 6 goals in the Euros, if I'm not mistaken, around there. And then 2019-2020, he managed 9 goals in 37. So he's really only proved himself last season. I mean, 4 goals in 16 games this season as a striker, as a first-team striker. Is that really good enough? Now, obviously, I know there's still a whole half of the season to go. You know, he could go and score 7 in the next game for all I know, and that would take the average way down. But as of right now, 4 goals in 16, it's not the best. Alexander Isak, if I haven't mentioned his name already, Swedish international. But yeah, I wouldn't be too angry. You know, I've seen the goals that he can score. You know, we saw the spectacular goal he scored for Sweden in the Euros from outside the box, curled it top right. But I'm not looking at no fancy striker. You know, we look at Lacazette, we look at Aubameyang. They're not really fancy strikers. When Aubameyang came in, he scored 22 goals in his first season. A majority of them were in the box. You know, and then, you know, he looked like he was doing that Henry style of play where he was cutting on his right foot, finessing it. But he's not really a fancy striker. Arsenal, since Henry, Bergkamp, those type of players, we've had Maru and Shamak. You know, we've had Arshavin play up front for a bit. We had Theo Walcott. We've had Van Persie. Van Persie definitely the best and definitely the most flared player of all of them. You know, with his volleys, we all know about Van Persie volleys. Same as Podolski, but it's more the power on their feet. It wasn't really nothing fancy, nothing really technical. So we're not really known for technical type players, and I don't really care about that, if I'm being honest. I just want a striker who can score goals. And right now, if it is between Vlahovic and Isak, in terms of who's proved themselves, I would definitely go for Vlahovic. Alexander Isak, again, I'm not going to be angry, but I'm just not sure. You know, maybe he might come to the Premier League. The Premier League might be more his style. Arsenal might be more his style, but we look at the role that Lacazette is playing right now. It's more hold-up play and allowing Martinelli, Bukayo Saka to get forward. Smith Rowe is our top scorer right now, and he's coming off the left. So yeah, I'm going to be very, very intrigued to see how Isak plays if he does come to Arsenal. Right now I'm edging towards Vlahovic. You know, we put in a bid yesterday, I think it was, for Vlahovic. It might be an unofficial bid, but it was announced that it was 47 million English pounds plus Torreira. So yeah, I don't think we're putting a bid yet for Isak. So I'll be very intrigued to see what happens between the strikers. We definitely need a striker. Obviously, with Aubameyang on his way out, Lacazette looks like he might be leaving this summer. We definitely need a striker. You know, I'm not relying on Nketiah or Balogun. Looks like he's going to be going on loan. I think it was Nottingham or something like that, team in the League One side that are looking at Balogun. So yeah, we definitely need a striker. Now we go into the midfield. Now this is a transfer that I was a bit shocked and surprised when Arteta mentioned it, because in my head I'm thinking, why? You know, Smith Rowe is our top scorer right now. Bukayo Saka, this is probably his best season in an Arsenal shirt, and I've rated him for a long time now, and I'm saying that this is his best season. You know, he looks so sharp this season. There's no way he's getting replaced. Martinelli, you know, in my opinion, I've said it for a long time, this is all my opinion. If Martinelli, Smith Rowe and Saka all played at the same time, because we all know Saka came in first, Smith Rowe shortly after, but they had pretty much around the same amount of game time. If Martinelli joined them when Arteta came, because obviously it took Arteta a while, you know, the first game that Martinelli really came in was against Newcastle this season. He scored, kept his place, and since then he's been unbelievable. So you can't replace Martinelli either. But the point I'm trying to make is Martinelli, I think in my opinion, is a better youngster than Saka and Smith Rowe. But that's just my opinion. And I think over time Martinelli, you know, you can see the maturity in Martinelli. He's 20 years old, but he plays as if he's 24, 25. It's just lovely to watch. Even against Man City, we lost 2-1. We all know that was because of VAR and because of Stuart Atwell, the referee. On any other day, any other referee, you know, a decent referee, Howard Webb, for example, Arsenal win that game. Arsenal win that game every single day of the week, and it was sad to see that. But I've got Coutinho's La Liga stats up on the screen. It's not the best. It's not the best. In his first season in London, right? He played 18, scored 8, got 5 assists. That's not too bad. 13 goal involvements in 8. After that, it just went downhill. You know, the next season he played 34 games in La Liga, got 5 goals, 2 assists. Got 2 assists last season and 2 goals in 12, 4 goal involvements. This season he's played 12 and got 2 goals. This transfer doesn't make sense because, like I said, he's dropping. You know, I forgot to even mention Odegaard. Odegaard has been absolutely amazing as well in this new style of play that Arsenal have picked up. You know, there's no way any of our attack gets dropped. He's not going to play striker for us. So this transfer for me just doesn't make sense. I don't really want Coutinho. Obviously, if we sign him, I'm going to back him. But I just don't see the sense in it. I don't see why we're signing him. He's not going to play DM for us because we all know Partey is going, and then he's going. They're already gone to AFCON. Maitland-Niles look like he's going to be going to Roma. That deal looks pretty much confirmed. He's not going to play in those type of positions though. So this for me doesn't make sense. However, the next two players do make sense for the exact reasons I just mentioned. The two players going to AFCON, they're only gone for like 2 games, but that's still massive. 2 games we need to win. One of them is against Spurs. So if we can get one of these boys in before Spurs, it'll be massive. The first player is Wijnaldum. I've got his Premier League stats on the screen. I know he plays for PSG, but we look at, he's only played 16 games for PSG this season. That's not enough to judge him on. He's only just signed for PSG, so we have to go off his Premier League stats. And we all know how much of a good midfielder he was. However, there's only one slight issue I have with him. He's played 170 odd games for Liverpool, and he's managed not many goals and not many assists. Now, when we look at Liverpool and the team that he played in, the holding defensive midfielder was more Fabinho, Jordan Henderson, while Wijnaldum wasn't really seen playing in that type of role. So for me, I feel like Wijnaldum should have definitely contributed more towards goals and assists, but you can see on the screen, he really hasn't. In the last 3 seasons he played for Liverpool, he got 0 assists. That's poor in my opinion for a player that has the freedom to go forward. He's not, you can't deny the fact that he had the freedom to go forward. And for me, we're going to pretty much sign him to play more defensive. And the next player I've got on the list, who I'll say now, oh no, sorry, I've got Lamptey next. It's the player that I've lost. I'll talk about Wijnaldum quickly, but like I said, if Maitland-Niles goes, he's not going to really play. Maitland-Niles can play right back for us as well. Wijnaldum is not going to play right back for us. He's not going to really play in that defensive mid where Partey's playing. Partey is partnering up right now with Xhaka. Partey's going to AFCON. You're not going to see Wijnaldum play the role that Partey plays. It's just not the same style of play. For me, I don't want to really, this is only a loan. The rumours are that Wijnaldum is only a loan. So if it is a 1-season loan just to fill in the gaps for AFCON and for little injuries that Partey might get, Xhaka might get, Lokonga might get, Maitland-Niles is going to Roma. If it is only for that reason, then fair enough. But if it's a thing where we want to get him on loan with an option to buy in the future, I don't approve of it, if I'm being honest. Now, you already saw the next player is Lamptey. Now, for the defensive-minded players, I haven't got stats on the screen because I don't think it's fair. You're not going to see right-backs and DMs really contribute to goals unless it's like the Trents and the Cancelos and whatnot. Lamptey is definitely a player capable of doing that, but he was injured for majority of this season and towards the end of last, which is why I don't think it was fair to add his numbers up on the screen. We all know how good he is though. He's a generational talent. And, when he came back in for Brighton this season, the first game I think was against Chelsea, came off the bench. Wow. He spun Marcus Alonso or Chilwell, whoever it was. I don't know if Chilwell was already injured by then, but whoever it was on that left-hand side, he was spinning them. It might have even been Emerson, for all I know. Does he even still play for Chelsea? I don't even know. But Lamptey, we all know how good he is, man. Before he got injured last season, he was doing very, very well for Brighton. He was getting assists. He wasn't just getting little crosses here and there. He was getting assists where he was taking on the last man very well, comfortably, making it look good, and then supplying the striker, whether it was Morpay, Colony, or Welbeck. Lamptey, I think, is, if we sign him, I'll be over the moon. However, like I said at the start of this video, Tomiyasu has been flipping amazing. So is it going to be a thing where they rotate, they play 2 games, then switch, or is it going to be a thing where Lamptey is going to be used for cup games or games where, against the smaller teams like Burnley, Norwich, and teams like that? I don't think that will be fair because Tomiyasu has been brilliant. I think he's been out for like 2 games due to injury this season. Other than that, there's not been a game where he's put a foot wrong, and I think it will be so rude. It would be rude. It wouldn't be unfortunate. It would be rude to just drop him. And there is no doubt about it that Lamptey has definitely proven how good he is, and the fact that he can definitely play for Arsenal's first team. But to have a player like Lamptey, who's definitely going to cost around 30 to 40 million, and put him on the bench, it's a bit of a sticky one because we definitely need a backup right back, and it's always good to have 2 good players in each position. But with Tariq Lamptey and Tomiyasu, it's a question of who do you start, because they're both just as good as each other. But yeah, we can't have like 34 million on the bench. You know, we've made that mistake with Pepe, 72 million on the bench. It's poor, and you know we can't afford to do something like that again. Or is it going to be a thing where, I don't know, we all know Tierney is injury prone. Tavares, maybe Arteta's looking at it and saying, Tavares, you know what, Pep wants him, we'll let him go in summer or maybe even in January. And if worse comes to worse with Tierney, we'll play Tariq Lamptey or Tomiyasu. You know, Tomiyasu's already been made a makeshift right back because he is obviously originally a centre back. So, you know, if worse comes to worse, does Lamptey go right back? Does Tomiyasu go left back? I just don't know how it would work if we have two right backs of this class in the same team. But yeah, Tariq Lamptey is another player that we've been linked to. This one was very recent as well, but we were actually linked to him before the season started as well. Now, the last player on the list is the player I want the most, and is the reason why I kept him last. Renato Sanches. Now, he obviously came to Lille from Bayern. Now, he wasn't the best at Bayern. He couldn't really break through at Bayern. But he came out himself and he said, you know what, now's the time. He's ready now for the big move. He has said that himself. He has now got the experience and is ready. He's ready for that big move. And obviously, I think it was with Gabriel. He had contact with over social media saying that he was waiting for an offer or something silly like that. But, you know, obviously it is all banter and sarcasm at the end of the day. But a player doesn't say that if they don't mean it, in my opinion. And we've already signed Pepe from Lille. We've signed Gabriel from Lille. Will they let us have Renato Sanches as well? You know, maybe we include a swap deal in there. Maybe we give them Maitland-Niles instead of letting him go to Roma. But for me, Renato Sanches, we all know how good he is, man. There's no doubt about it. He's a brilliant, brilliant player. He's going to be playing that role that Thomas Partey plays, and I think he'll do it exceptionally well. You know, he might even have games where he's playing a million times better than Thomas Partey. Thomas Partey against Man City in the weekend had probably one of his best ever performances in an Arsenal shirt, and that is the Thomas Partey that we want to see, and that is the Thomas Partey that is going to be very hard to replace when he comes back from AFCON, and if he continues that form. If we do sign Renato Sanches, that is. But we definitely need a midfielder. We definitely need a midfielder before Spurs, because Thomas Partey's gone, El Nenny's gone to AFCON, Maitland-Niles is going to be going to Roma. We've only got Granit Xhaka and Lokonga, and we can't have Odegaard playing in the defensive position, or he can't definitely do the role that Partey does. So yeah, we definitely need a midfielder, and this is the man that I want. I don't really have to speak too much about Renato Sanches. We all know how good he really is. But yeah, Renato Sanches, I would love to see this man in Arsenal. We've been linked to him previously as well. We've been linked to him last season, and obviously before the Prem started this season. I would love to see this man in an Arsenal shirt. If we sign this man, I would, even if we just sign him and no striker, right now we don't really need, we're not in urgent need for a striker. The only way that would happen is if Lacazette was to get injured, because Lacazette is definitely going to stay until the end of the season. We can sign a striker in summer. You know, we got like a 2-3 month gap in between summer and the new season, so maybe we can sign a striker there. We might even be in the Champions League, so maybe we can sign a better striker. You never know. For me right now, the priority is a midfielder and a striker, but more a midfielder based on the current situation. But yeah, those are my opinions on the players that we've been linked to. The players that I'd say I want the most out of this whole list is Vlahovic and Renato Sanches. But make sure you guys like, share, comment and subscribe. Leave in the comment section down below what you guys think about our transfer rumours. Make sure you subscribe, because I am nearly on 1,000 subscribers, and I'll see you guys in the next video.